We are back here on the GSMC Baseball Podcast, bringing you our third segment, which is going to be talking about the AL Power Rankings, my first one of the year. So yeah, let's get straight into that. So you know the deal already with the NL ones being talked about. It's going to go from 15 to 1. So let's get straight into it. So number 15, no surprise, it is the Oakland A's. I don't know what else to say here. I mean, they suck. They're really bad. They're so bad. They're the A's, man. I mean, I had a whole segment yesterday on how incompetent they are. I short on it as well. So, yeah, not a fan of the A's. They're really, really bad. They don't have much going for them right now, and I think it's going to stay that way for a little while. So, yeah, definitely not a fan of this A's team, and not a fan of what's going on with them right now. So, did have them at number 15, and I'm going to stay there. And I think I feel pretty good about that pick. I'm not, again, very high in them. So, yeah. Number 14, I have the Chicago White Sox. No surprise again here. I think we all knew that the A's and the White Sox were both going to be the two worst teams, probably in the league and definitely in the AL. So no surprises here for 15 and 14. The White Sox, unlike the A's, though, do have some things going for them. I mean, they have some nice young players. They at least have a plan of what to do. They're not moving their team. They're not alienating their fan base. So I think if you're a White Sox fan, you feel much better than an A's fan right now. So the White Sox are clearly in a rebuild. They definitely have a vision, so I wouldn't be too worried. Shouldn't last too long, and yeah, but clearly right now they are the 14th best team in baseball in the AL, I should say. Now here's where it gets fun. At number 13, I have the Houston Astros. Now, yes, I have the Astros at 13. Is that going to stay that way? No, it is not going to stay that way. The Astros are a very good team, and nothing about this week has changed my mind about that. But they have not looked good. They lost at home to the Yankees, getting swept, which was losing in pretty horrible ways in all the games. They blew a game against the Blue Jays. So they've just not been good to start the year, frankly. And I'm not worried about them. Yes, I'm not. But they have not looked good, and I couldn't put them anywhere other than 13 right now. I thought it would have been disrespectful to other teams who have been really good. So, yeah, not a fan of what the Astros have done so far. Yes, they had a new hitter. Yes, they won 8-0, but the losses have been bad, and there are some question marks right now about the bullpen. Not too much question marks where I'm gonna just give up on them. Like I said, I still believe in them, but you know it's not been good if you're an Astros fan right now. So, yeah, definitely not a fan of what's going on with them, and they definitely need to step it up. Not too worried, but kind of got to get into gear soon. Number 12, I have their division mate, the Seattle Mariners, who are also 2-5. Now, you may be asking, okay, well, we know the Astros are obviously better than the Mariners, so why are they not above the Mariners? Well, the Mariners have lost, at least with some pride. I mean, they played Boston. They fought there. They did lose, but they fought. And they beat Cleveland, who's been off to a really strong start. The last game was bad, but Mariners have been showing me something. And I also wanted to show them a little bit of respect by putting them above the Astros, who have just looked really bad so far. So I wouldn't be mad if you put the Astros above the Mariners. But I do think right now I want to put some respect to the Mariners, and I think that the Astros have not done anything to show that they are higher than where I have them right now. So, yeah, not a fan of what the Astros are doing right now, and not a fan of what's going on with this team. So, definitely, that's why I have Astros at 13 and Mariners at 12. But Mariners have a lot of good things going for them. So, yeah. Number 11, I have the Kansas City Royals. Now, the Royals are 3-4. Which is a pretty even record for them right now, kind of where I expected them to be. They've had a lot of nice pieces showing off right now. Guys like Nelson Velasquez, Cole Reagans, Michael Garcia, MJ Melendez. They split a series against the Orioles, which is very hard to do. So I thought about putting them higher, but I just couldn't because there's been a lot of good teams in the AL right now. So, yeah, the Royals have a lot going for them, but right now I do have them at 11. I still think they need some more overall depth with this team. I think they have a lot of good pieces. Guys like Lugo, Waka, Singer, Reagans, the young players you have as well. But the players where you don't have a lot of talent, you really struggle. I mean, it's bad there. I mean, you have Adam Frazier starting, so not good, as I'll say. So yeah, I still think there's a lot going for the Royals. I still think they're a really good team, but as of right now, I had to put them at 11. Not really an indictment against them. Just all the other teams in the AL have been really good so far to start the season. So yeah, wanted to give the Royals a little shout out, but I couldn't put them in the top 10. Number 10, I have the Toronto Blue Jays, who, if I made this a few hours after, they might have rose because they just beat the Yankees, but which we'll be talking about in our fourth segment, so I'm not going to go into that too much. But so they are 10, but they've shown a lot here. They did have a nice game against the Astros, which was really good. They had a really nice comeback with David Schneider hitting that home run in the top of the ninth to win 2-1. So I think they've shown a lot to be happy about if you are a Blue Jays fan. Beating the Yankees right now is one of them. Splitting series against the Rays in Tampa is also nice. So I think they have a lot of good talent, but they're 3-4, and they don't have a superstar roster really. So I couldn't put them higher than this, but I still think they're a really good team, and I still am looking forward to watching them as the season does go on. They're 4-4 now, so again, maybe I would have put them higher if I made this list after this game, but the game didn't end until now, so what can I do about it? At number 9, I have the Minnesota Twins. Now, the Twins have been very impressive so far. I think that the hitting core has been doing well. I think the pitching's been performing nice, so I did want to have them relatively high at number 9. Now, I will say they're third in their own division, which is not something I expected to say, but I did have them at number 9. They did beat the Royals, who are number 11, so that's why I had these two teams where I had them. So, yeah, I still think the Twins are the best team in that American League Central pretty easily, so I'm not too worried about them, but as of right now, they are the third best team just after the first week, which is not something to worry about too much. I want to make that very clear with all these. It's not something to panic about, but I did want to talk about it as it was interesting. So, yeah, had them at number 9 here. Number 8, I had the Tampa Bay Rays, who are 3-4. Now, the Rays have had some nice what's the word? Sorry about the weird, awkward pause there, but some nice things going for this team right now. I think that the pitching's been decent. I think the hitting core has been performing. So I did want to put them at number 8 here. I thought they were better than the Blue Jays right now. I still think they have a lot going for them with the sheer amount of talent on this team. Guys who have been so good over the past few years, like Brandon Lau, Isaac Paredes, Randy Arozarena. Zach Eflin's been a dog. So, yeah, I mean, with all the problems the Rays have had, I still wanted to put them at 8, and I still think that's a fair spot for them. So, yeah, I do have the Rays at number 8 here. At number 7, I have the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. Now, kind of surprising, I'd say, but I think they've been performing really, really well. They swept the Marlins without a doubt. I mean, they just kind of demolished them. They won one against the Orioles, which is better than I thought they'd do. So, I mean, the way they played against the Orioles, the way they handled that Marlins team, even though the Marlins have been bad, I think the Angels have a worse roster. So, Mike Trout has been very good as well. I mean, if Trout continue playing like this, it'll be a big boost to this Angels team, of course. So, I think there's a lot of positives going on with the Angels right now, a lot that I don't think a lot of people were expecting to happen. So, yeah, definitely some nice things going on there. And if I'm an Angels fan, I'd be happy about where the team is sitting right now. So, yeah. At number 6, I do have the Baltimore Orioles at 4-2. Now, I had the Orioles above the Angels, even though the same record, because they beat them only 2-1, but still beat them. So, I wanted to make that clear. So, I still think the Orioles are the best team in the AL. I still think they have the best roster, the most amount of talent. They are going to finish top of the AL East, in my opinion. But I think it's been a tiny bit worrisome right now. I mean, losing a game to the Angels is not something you want. Yes, they won the series, but again, losing any game to the Angels is not something you want. No disrespect to the Angels, as they're not that good. So they have a big test coming up with playing the Pirates, who are one of the better teams in the league right now. I had them high in my NL Power rankings, so we'll see what happens there. But they played well against the Angels. They beat the Royals, so they've been okay. They've been good to start the season, just not extraordinary, and that is why I do end up having them at number 6. So really couldn't put them higher than that. So yeah, nothing else to really say here about the Orioles, and what's going on with them. So it's a good team right now, good start to the season, but nothing too extraordinary, which I was kind of expecting. Moving on to the top 5 here, I have the Guardians, who have been very, very impressive. Yes, they handled the A's, which doesn't mean much, but after that, I mean, they beat Seattle in a really convincing way, which was nice. They beat Minnesota in the first game of that series yesterday, which was great. So, yeah, I mean, right now, the Guardians have looked really, really nice. The pitching's been great. The young hitting core has been really performing well. Steven Vogt has like a true MLB manager. So a lot's going on. A lot of good is going on for the Guardians right now. And if they can keep this up, I think they'll be a team to watch going into the playoffs and going to the playoff hunt for the season. So, yeah, pleasantly surprised with what the Guardians are doing right now. And I wanted to reflect it with their number 5 position. Another team I'm pleasantly surprised by right now is the Boston Red Sox. Now, the thing with the Red Sox is that they have played bad teams. They played the A's to start the season, who, of course, they beat. So I don't want to give them too much credit here saying, oh, they're amazing. But at the same time, they have been really, really good. I mean, the pitching's been really nice. They're number 1 in MLB ERA leaders by a good amount. I mean, the next close team is over 40 points below, so over 40 points higher, I should say. So they've been really, really nice, and I think that they have a lot going for them right now with this pitching staff, with it being that low. Yes, they played the A's, but you can only beat the opponents you've played. So I wanted to show some respect for the Red Sox here and show some respect for what they are doing. So yeah, happy about this and happy that they are performing really well. At number 3, I have the Texas Rangers. So the Rangers are a team I was not the highest on. I did have them making the playoffs, but that was just because of the young talent coming up. Their pitching, I thought, was going to be really bad. I still think that, but it has been performing pleasantly well so far. I mean, you beat the Cubs in a 3-game series 2-1, which I thought was a really nice win, coming off of all the momentum off the offseason, winning the World Series. I thought it was a really nice job to beat this young Cubs team that is good. You beat the Rays, which is also nice. So they've had some nice wins so far, 4-2. So yeah, really happy for them and really excited for what they've been doing. So yeah, definitely happy with how they've been playing, and I think their pitching has been a little surprising. I don't know if it'll stay there, but they've still been really good. And yeah, happy for them. Number 2, I have the Detroit Tigers. Yes, a surprise, but they're performing really, really well. I mean, so far they're 5-1, which nobody expected. They were handed their first loss to the Mets, but their pitching was still really great, only giving up 2 runs that entire game. So I think the pitching has been clicking. I think the offense has been clutch when it needed to be. The bullpen's been really strong with the new additions. A.J. Hinch, one of the best managers in baseball, so that's also been helping. So yeah, I think the Tigers have been really impressive so far. I still don't think they're the best team in the AL Central, but I think that they have a lot going for them right now. I think they have a really good team, a really good roster, and they're really good right now. So yeah, I'd be happy right now if I was a Tigers fan. And number 1, of course, is going to be the New York Yankees, who before I made this list were 6-1. Now are 4-2 after being handed a loss to the Toronto Blue Jays. A little anticlimactic, but what are you going to do, huh? So I think the Yankees have been super, super impressive at the start of the season, handling the Astros with care. I mean, really just dismantling them. So yeah, I'd be very excited if I was a Yankees fan right now. Soto's been amazing. Judge has been amazing. Even without Cole, they've still maintained this 6-2 record. So yeah, definitely been really excited if I was a Yankees fan right now. I think clearly at the end of the first week that the best team in the AL, maybe even the best team in the league, I would still give it to the Dodgers, but I think they'd definitely be top 3. So yeah, very exciting if you're a Yankees fan. And Soto has been everything as advertised. So yeah, definitely a good addition so far, I'd say. I don't know how it would have been a bad one, but it's been better than they could have imagined so far. For the last segment, I am going to be talking about some news around the league, which I always do usually. So we'll be talking about some general news stories around the league, some smaller ones, and then recapping the games going on right now as well. Not really recapping because they haven't finished, but except for one, which I talked about, the Blue Jays and the Yankees. We'll be talking about them. So yeah, we'll be going to that, and we'll see you after the break. So thanks and bye.